Hi guys, this is Gracie.
And this is Lucie.
So this video is a little more about getting to know Lucie. So I guess to start off with, how did you end up here at SafeSpace Concepts?
Yeah, so how did I end up here at SafeSpace Concepts? Well, it just kind of just happened. I guess my prior experience with children is always just working for Primrose. So I worked there for like 3 years, and I did nannying and babysitting on the side. And then I grew up with my mom being a nanny, so I was always around kids. And then my sister-in-law had a daycare, and then so when I was in high school, I would just go and help her out. So I've always just been passionate about children and children development, and having kids of my own. It's just something that I also really encourage as well. I'm very big on learning through play and that concept in general. So whenever I would get asked like, hey, what do you think about this, or what do you think about this, of certain pieces, through Ivan or whatever, I'm like, hey, I think this will work, or what if we change this, or I think it'll work better if we do it like this. And so just like getting my opinion here and there, and it just kind of turned into, hey, so do you want to work here?
Yeah. I know you're a mom of 3 beautiful girls. How do you do it to juggle like work and being a mom at the same time?
Yeah, so it's definitely really hard. So I have 2 jobs, and then I also have my kids, and having
So 3 jobs.
having to pick them up, and the oldest does sports, and then of course you have to make sure you're having fun on the weekend because nobody just wants to stay at the house. And so it's definitely just trying to find the balance, and communicating as well with your partner or whoever it may be, and also what kind of help you need. It's definitely a struggle, and oftentimes you don't sleep well, but it's worth it. It's worth it, having a safety net for my family as well, and then getting to do new experiences with the kids, and being able to do that it's worth it.
Yeah, it's a blessing. So how long have you been working with SafeSpace Concepts?
So I've been with SafeSpace for about 3 years. It went by really quick. Sometimes it feels longer, sometimes it feels shorter. It just depends on the day that you ask me.
Have you ever worked with museums, or did that just came to you out of nowhere, or how did you get into working with museums?
It kind of just happened. So when I first started, I know party rentals was like a really big deal, and so I know I didn't really want to get into that just because it was just too far deep in, and I wanted to start something new. And then so I did a lot of research with like libraries and museums and churches and anything where you could possibly use like soft play in, and I just felt like museums was a better fit for me. And so instead of having to focus on all these other different areas, it was just better for me just to focus on museums solely, and I love it. Just personally, because I do generally love museums. Growing up, my parents really couldn't afford to take me to museums, so school would often have like science night or museum night, and we would do like field trips to these museums and stuff like that. So like being able to provide a space for children like that, who oftentimes don't get to go all the time, is just it's amazing. It's awesome. And I see myself in every child that goes to a museum, or like, oh, I think they would like this, or they would like this. And so it's just something I'm passionate about, and it just experience kind of paved the way for me.
No, that's good. So I do have a question. So what are the pros and cons of working with museums that have happened to you?
I guess the pros is obviously being able to do something new for a museum, and I guess continuing on to that is just being able to create something new and being able to match their theme. The cons, I guess, would just mainly be on my end, whereas like sometimes I don't like the colors that they pick, but at the end of the day, it's their project, and so I just sometimes keep my opinions to myself. But other than that, I don't really see there being a con. I guess the design process is what generally takes the longest, and going back and forth and making sure the measurements align, or if there's a certain corner on the wall that's not perfectly leveled, or if there's a curve and stuff like that. So I guess that would be a con, just how long it takes to get the design down. But it's all part of the process. I guess yeah, I guess that's it. I don't really see there
How do
being a lot of like.
how do you
pros
deal
and
with the
cons.
stress of like, because I know it's happened to us multiple times, to everybody, where sometimes we get the measurements wrong or something like that, it goes wrong, and then we have to redo it. How do you deal with the stress of telling, them like, hey, we're gonna fix it, or how do you deal
Like
with it?
whenever the soft play's done and we go and install, or they install it and it
And
doesn't align or
yes,
something.
when it doesn't align
So
to.
yeah, so it definitely happens a lot. Sometimes nothing's ever going to be perfect. There's always going to be something that's going to be in the way of the soft play, whether you realize it or not. And unfortunately, you're not going to find that out until you do install. So we just create a new piece, we fix it, we measure it how it's supposed to be measured, or just redo the measurements, double check we got it right, and then just see where the problem is and evaluate it and see how we can fix the problem to make sure it does align. So sometimes the problem has to be there for a little while until we get it right. But yeah, that's just the way it is sometimes.
No, yeah, and I like I've seen you work every day. You kick butt. I don't want to say another word, but I look up to you. You are the top agent, sales agent right now. Even though she says she's, I know she gets shy to admit it, but you are. So like, how do you keep up with that work ethic? Because I'm a mom of one, and you're a mom of three, and it's a lot.
So I run. So whenever I do have that free time, I run. I'm not the fastest runner by any means, and I am also an ugly runner. So, but yeah, I run. I feel free when I run. I feel weightless when I run. I feel happy when I run. And I think of nothing when I run but to finish. So everything just kind of goes away. And when I run, it just gives me time to regroup. And I just feel grateful to be able to run, and feel grateful to just keep adding more miles onto my Strava app. And just, I don't know, when I run, I just feel like a sense of thankfulness that I'm able to run, and then it just kind of puts everything in perspective to me. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I do.
What's something that you've learned working here at SafeSpace Concepts that you feel like you will take with you anywhere you go further along the future or something?
I guess being able to network with any kinds of people. Of course, there's always going to be people you might not get along with, and there's going to be people that you get along amazingly with. Just being able to work with whatever kind of person. You never know when you're going to need that contact, or if you see them at an event and nobody else there but them. But just being able to have that connection with them is just something that I'll probably always carry on. Everybody who you meet is important, whether it's good or bad. So, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, is there anything you gotta say before we close off this video? To any other museums that maybe want to work with us?
Just that I love what I do, and I'm very passionate in everything that I do, and I put myself in your shoes most of the time, and I really do try to make it as easy as possible for you guys, because I already know that you guys wear multiple hats, and just being able to relieve some kind of stress for you guys is just my main objective for sure. Other than that, that's it.
Well, that's cool. Thank you for taking your time to speak with me for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So if you guys are interested in talking to Lucie about museums or anything, just hit her up at...
Yeah, Lucie at SafeSpaceConcepts.com, and that's Lucie, Lucie, not a Y.
All right, thank you. Bye.